Hello my friends, it is your brother Hampton from Hybrid Calisthenics. I just want to show you a quick daily stretching routine that I do. Now I'm a bit of a minimalist when it comes to stretching. I know some people really like it, they spend an hour, sometimes more on it daily. That's not really my thing. I picked a few large compound stretches so you work the entire body, you can get everything done in 10 minutes, probably fewer. Now there is currently a consensus among the fitness community that we should not stretch before we work out, especially when we do heavy lifting workouts. This may surprise some of you because we intuitively think we should stretch before we work out, but in fact, it is believed to decrease performance and increase the chance of injury. Now that said, when experts say we shouldn't stretch before we work out, they are usually referring to gentle passive stretches. The stretches that I'll show you today are active, they're intense, and they actually help me warm up before I work out. So I can do them before I work out, after I work out, or really just whenever. Experiment to see what works for you. Real quick before we get started, a lot of you that are not familiar with my content may be surprised that I stretch, I exercise, I do everything in jeans. These are actually stretch jeans, so I can do any number of things with them. I don't really want to change clothes before I work out. I just want to get right into it. So here we go. Check out my new yoga mat that I got today. The next step is to redo the deck. The first stretch I go into is the bridge. It just looks like this. I hold that for a few breaths and come back down. You can hold it for time. I just hold it for 5 deep breaths in and out. If you can't do this yet, I'll give you an alternative right after this. All right, let's go. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale, and we're done. Okay, so the bridge is one of my favorite exercises, both as a stretch and just in general, but I understand not everyone can quite do it yet. Now you can build up to it with some easier variations that I've shown in the past, where you can do a short bridge, or you can do a straight bridge like this. And while those are great exercises in their own right, they don't really give you the stretch in the front of your body that a regular bridge does. So while you can build up to a regular bridge with those exercises, I want to give you something where you can stretch right now. One possible alternative is upward facing dog, and it just looks like this. You still get the stretch in the front of your body. You're still working the back of your body. I'm not a yoga instructor at all. This is just a great exercise that I like. Now with most yoga poses, there are a ton of minutiae that you can begin to add in after you start to learn the pose. You can rotate your wrists, your feet, there's certain ways you can breathe. If you want some tutorials on that, I'll link that in the description. For now, let's just get the basic stretch. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. Again, 5 deep breaths. Ready? Go. Get into position. Deep inhale. Exhale. Deep inhale. Slow and steady exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, and exhale. And we're done. Whether you choose the bridge or upward facing dog, do 3 holds of 5 deep breaths and we'll move on. For our third set, we'll just do the bridge again. Ready, go. All right, I'm gonna try to sound more normal on this one. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. I sound exactly the same. Deep inhale, exhale. Slow and deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale, and we're done. All right, Aruni, let's move on. All right, now that we've stretched the front of our body and worked the back, I want to stretch the side of our body while working the other side. And for that, there's a simple stretch, a simple hold called the twist hold. It's very simple to do, and as usual, there are multiple variations to make it easier or harder. To do it, bend your knee like this, cross over your leg, and just turn towards your bent leg. Put your hand behind you like this, put your other hand on the outside of your knee like this, and just turn to one side as hard as you can, as hard as you safely can. And again, breathe deep for 5 deep breaths. Let's go. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale while there's no music.
Deep inhale, exhale.
Alright, you may have noticed that this video differs from a lot of stretching videos you've probably seen in that I don't really tell you to relax. In fact, I tell you to turn or move as hard as you can. These exercises are really built to make you more flexible and strengthen you at the same time. And the reason for that is I believe flexibility is a lot less functional without strength. With flexibility, you just have the range of motion. With mobility, you can move yourself through that range of motion, if that makes sense. Okay, we'll do the other side. Same thing, up here, cross over, turn. Breathe in.
Okay, we can start. Wait. Okay, now we start. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale, and we're done.
Okay, as you turn, you may notice that you want to naturally dig in your elbow like this so you can turn more to the other side. That's fine. Okay, just like with the bridge and upward facing dog, we're gonna do 3 holds per side of 5 deep breaths. For this next demonstration, I'm gonna show you a slightly harder variation. It's the same thing to start off with. You bend your leg, cross over, but this time you bend your other leg and see if you can touch your butt with your heel. Cross over with your hand and turn.
Alright, I'll go a little slower this time. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Big deep inhale. Slow and steady exhale. Deep inhale, exhale, and we're done.
Alright, that's done. We're gonna do the other side. You may notice as you go through these sets that you're getting more flexible. That's a good thing.
Get in position. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale and feel the stretch. Exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale, and we're done.
Okay, let's go into the third set. Unlike exercise, you really don't need to pause that long in between stretching holds. You're not really exhausted, it's just to give yourself a slight break. You can pause for 30 seconds to a minute if you'd like, or you can go directly to the other one. So for this one, we're gonna make it, again, slightly harder. Cross over like this, bend your other leg, starts off the same, we'll turn this way. But now, we're gonna dig in our arm right here, and we're gonna loop through, and we're gonna hold our own hand like this. You can really start to feel it right here. That's a good stretch. We turn.
Alright, in, out. Almost fully in. Out. In, out. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale and exhale.
Okay, you may have noticed if you're doing this with me that every time you exhale, you get that extra bit of flexibility, and I use that when I exhale. I turn that extra quarter inch, extra half inch, and I try to hold that. So every time I exhale, I'm actually going. Does that make sense? Alright, last one. Same deal. Over, touch your butt with your heel. Arm over, hand behind you. Stick your hand through like this. You may have to finagle a little bit. Do your best to sit upright. Don't be falling over to the side, leaning forward like this. Do your best to be somewhat upright.
Alright, inhale. Exhale. Deeply in. Deeply out. Inhale. Exhale. Deep, deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. Exhale, and we're done.
Alright, that's the twist holds. Okay, we've stretched the front of our body and the sides of our body. Now I want to stretch the back of our body, the posterior chain. A lot of people have stiffness and issues with this area. Now, if you're following along, you might notice that the bridge and the twist holds are from the trifecta in one of my favorite books about bodyweight training, which is Convict Conditioning 2, written by Paul Coach Wade. If you want to check it out, it was very helpful to me. I totally recommend it. But in that book, he covers these 3 stretches, the bridge and the twist hold. And for stretching the back of the body, he recommends something called the all hold, which is just this. It's actually a little bit like this. But while I like that exercise, and it's great for hips, flexibility, strength, and beyond, I feel like it's a little bit too difficult for some people to do. So I thought of some easier ones where you can do, it's also called a V-hold sometimes, like this, or like this. But really, I think the best one that you can explore is downward facing dog. It may be hard for a lot of people. Again, having some stiffness in your hamstrings and your calves is not too unusual, but this exercise really will help. A big thing is not to have your lower back too curved like this. You want to keep it relatively straight, like this. And even if that means you have to put your hands further out. Again, there can be a ton of minutiae that go into these yoga holds. I don't claim to be a yoga instructor, certainly not a yoga master. I will link a few videos below if you want to know more specifics from people who do this for a living. I will say that as you push your arms out and you keep your hand down and you try to straighten your back, your heels may want to come off. Try to keep them to the ground like this, and try to keep your lower back straight like this. Instead of compensating with either of those, try to compensate by bending your knees a little bit instead. Keep your knees bent until you can do the proper hold with your legs straight. Alright, as usual, we're going to do 3 holds of 5 deep breaths. Start on your hands and knees. Let's go.
These are a little faster. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, and exhale, and we're done.
Ugh, that's intense. This is probably the most intense stretch for me. I think I'm actually going to finish before the sun sets today. Alright, one more time. Actually, 2 more times.
Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale, and push out with your arms. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Stay aligned.
This is really helping some shoulder and upper back issues I have. I have some injuries, and this is really helping me work through them. So when I do these holds and stretches, aligning everything and keeping everything even and pressing through them equally is really helping me. Okay, now we go one more time.
Alright. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale. Deep in, out. Deep in, out.
Okay, let's move on. I have one more. Alright, and the final stretch that I'll show today is something that I've talked about a lot in the past, which is just hanging from a bar for a couple minutes a day. If possible, I would do anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes a day. You don't have to do it all at once. You can hang for 20 seconds, take a break, another 20 seconds, take a break, and just work it in throughout the whole day. This really helps a lot of upper back and shoulder issues. You don't have to swing like I'm doing here, I'm just doing that for fun. If you can't yet support your weight entirely on your hands and your arms, you can use a stool, anything safe and stable. This bucket isn't necessarily the best example. Just to support with your feet as much as possible until eventually you won't need that anymore and you can support for a little while with just your arms. Alright, I don't have a watch, clock, or timer with me. I kind of want to test my internal sense of time. I'm going to try to hang for 60 seconds. I'm going to count in my head. We'll see how close I get. Okay, go. Is that 20? $30, I think. $40? I've lost track. Okay, I think that's 60, but I'm going to hang on for another 10 seconds, just in case. Really starting to feel the elbows and the grip. Alright. Alright, thank you so much for watching. It is getting a bit dark outside, so I came inside for the final clip of this video. I do want to develop my YouTube channel a little bit more so I can get more long-form content, stuff that's informative but also fun and entertaining to watch. So I will be investing in some equipment, maybe some wireless mics, some cameras. Let me know if you have any recommendations, but for now I hope this stretching video really helps you. Have a beautiful day.